Hi everyone, how are you today? My name is Makeda Voletta, also known as the Renaissance Amazon. And right now I'm going live in my backup IG page because I can't go live on my main IG page because of restrictions. Um, but I will be saving this video and reposting it to my YouTube. I'm actually recording on another camera to repost to my YouTube. So if you're on IG and you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to follow me there. And if you're on YouTube and you don't follow me on IG, be sure to follow me there because I don't always post the same things. Anyhow, if you're unfamiliar with me, just to give you a rough background, I am really into the health sciences, and that includes fitness, nutrition, but it also includes sexuality. I'm very much into anthropology, and as somebody who has a twin brother, I've always questioned in my mind what's masculine, what's feminine, ever since I was a little girl. And I'm also a bisexual female, right? So dealing with men and women, I've always kind of been okay. So with that being said, today I want to talk about how the trans community is not innocent, okay? And some of the issues that I have with them. And I had to give that little disclaimer first up, right? And Dave Chappelle, I wasn't going to do a video about Dave Chappelle's recent stand-up, which I loved. I think it was my favorite stand-up he's ever done, right? And so I wanted to offer a perspective because to me, it was actually pretty refreshing. He said a lot of things that I think a lot of people were thinking. He said a lot of things that I think and feel, a lot of the frustrations that I have, right? And I feel like women's voices and men's voices are silenced on this trans issue, right? And with the trans issue, the main issue is dudes who are trying to be women, okay? The trans woman. You don't see a lot of trans men. You do see that sometimes, right? But that's not really the issue. Trans men aren't really a threat to men. Okay, if a trans man plays football with you guys, she'll get hurt. Okay, because there is a difference between men and women. But before the whole trans thing, okay, there was already, gay men already trying to dictate to women how to be women. And I'm not saying there is a difference between gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans. They're not all the same thing, right? But as a woman, anytime we wanted to do something girly, fashion, cheerleading, beauty, makeup stuff. We always had men trying to teach us how to be women, how to dictate to us how to be women, thinking they know how to be women more than us, right? Gay men. Gay men run the fashion industry. At least they did in the 90s when the era of the supermodels. And I remember my dad used to always say, he used to look at the supermodels and the high fashion models who were super skinny. And he used to always say, most men aren't attracted to that. But gay men run this and they're not attracted to women. Right? And that always stayed in my head, that's a good point. So we always, if as a woman, if we do anything girly, we always had gay dudes, flamboyant gay dudes coming, oh no, honey, this is how you walk. Oh no, honey, this is how you do this, right? And so now, and a lot of women love gay dudes. I mean, I'm not homophobic or anything. I've had gay male friends, but I'm saying a lot of women sweat like the really flamboyant, extra gay dudes that wear the makeup. A lot of women love drag queens, okay? Gay dudes are fine with me. Drag queens, they do too much. I've never been a fan of drag queens. I remember a couple of times in my life when I ended up at drag shows and I was like horrified, okay? Don't like it at all. Now, there's a lot of women though who love that. And what you're starting to see, and I see this a lot in the younger generation, and it's such a turnoff. It's like natural beauty is not a thing anymore. It's like all these women are doing their makeup like they're drag queens. They have on 85 layers of makeup. They have eyelashes that are 10 inches long. They look like a totally different person. It's exactly what the drag queens do. Okay? The hair, the wigs glued onto their head that look super fake. The 10-inch nails, okay? That everybody has it's so drag queen-ish, right? And then when you talk about the ass shots and the hip shots, that all came from the trans world. Every time I've seen an interview with somebody who gave ass shots and they went to jail or whatever, they always learned from a trans person, okay? So right now, I feel like a lot of women are emulating trans, okay? Trans women. And to me, and then the whole, okay, so you have that issue, right? Also, and I don't like how it was forced on us. Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's allowed to think for themselves. If we don't go along with this narrative, then, we're some evil person. We need to be canceled. I'm not with the trans movement. But that doesn't mean that I wish any bad on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish any harm on them or anything like that. But I have also had some issues, right? Because I remember before I was 21 years old, right? I grew up in New York City. I remember when I was like 18, 19, I was a goody two-shoes, so I was never somebody who got fake IDs and was trying to go to clubs, right? So before I was 21, I just, when I would come home in the summertime from college and, me and my friends, we didn't have a lot of money. We were broke college students. I would walk around Greenwich Village, okay, in New York City. And I remember, seeing people from the back. I would see a couple, and I thought I'm looking at a man and a woman. But then they would turn around, and I realized, okay, that man is really a woman, and that woman is really a man. So now I'm confused. I'm like, are they gay? Are they straight? I don't understand. And I remember telling myself at 18, 19 years old, I remember thinking, you know what? You're never going to understand it. So just don't try to understand it. Some things I fully understand. And I was fine with that. I didn't understand it. I wasn't trying to understand it. That doesn't mean I wished any hate on them. It was just whatever, right? Now, I remember being with my friends, my female friends, and I remember some of the trans, I want to say tranny, but people get mad when you say that. But it's just easier. But anyhow, when they would see me and my friends, you know what I'm saying? They would look at us stank like they wanted to fight us. And I remember being like, we weren't even paying attention to them. We're over here eating our food, minding our business. And you had trans dude, chick, whatever, man, woman, looking at us like they wanted to fight. And I'd be thinking, you're still a dude. You better not put your hands on me. Because if a trans woman puts her hands on me, to me, that's a man putting their hands on me, right? And it's just overly aggressive shit. Because women, we weren't throwing any fire at them. We just sitting here minding our business. But it's like they were jealous of us because we were actually women. And they had this. And so that was like years ago, right? Now, over the past few years, as this trans thing becomes a bigger and bigger conversation, I see, like if it's Trans Awareness Week or whatever month, I see, or day or whatever, I see, tons of women posting these posts for trans women and honoring trans women. And I remember last year, Tara Banks did that. And I remember writing on her Instagram post, I said, do they ever do that for us when it's Women's Month, Women's History Month? Do they post tributes to women? Because I don't see it. And I remember Tyra responded to me. She said, you know what, you have a good point. And I'm like, yeah, why are we up their ass? Okay? They don't, I'm sorry. But I actually take offense to it. Now, it's one thing if you were born hermaphroditic. Hermaphrodites are real. That's a different story. But most trans people aren't hermaphrodites, okay? If you think, and this is why I thought Dave Chappelle's stand-up was brilliant, okay? Because first of all, there's so many things I want to say about it. But it's like, I believe that people are trans because they think that being the opposite sex is easier, okay? Like Dwayne Wade's son. Dwayne Wade's son's trying to say he's a girl, okay? He doesn't even dress or do things like girls do, okay? I see the things he wears. I'm like, what little girl would want to wear that, okay? No, he's not a freaking girl. You're a boy. You're just a fruity gay boy. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Fruity gay dudes have always existed. That's what you are. Just like dykey tomboy chicks have always existed since the beginning of time. Yes, since the beginning of time. You've had women who are physically female that have male spirits. You have men who are physically male that have female spirits. So you're just a fruity gay dude. You're just like a dykey, like you got Young M.A. Young M.A. is not trying to say she's a dude. She's never claiming to be a man. We know that she's a dyke, right? She's got a male spirit about her. That's always existed. When you start crossing the fucking lane and saying, I'm the opposite sex, you're doing too much, okay? Because I feel like I'm half man in my head a lot of times, okay? Like, I love women, okay? I shared a womb with a boy, all right? So I be feeling like I understand men better than most women, but I still understand I'm not a man. At the end of the day, I'm not a man. When you actually have a penis and you have a male brain, which is different, male body, the hips, all that is different. Male strength, okay? So even though I might feel like I understand men a lot, I might feel like I'm half male in my head, I know I'm a chick, okay? So, thank you. So to me, and you know what, and honestly and truly, I feel like I'm a cat, okay? Anybody who knows me knows I am a cat, okay? I'm sensitive like a cat, like, to touch, I like it, but I don't. I'm probably one of the most sensitive people, and that could be good or bad, depending on how somebody touches me. I like being pet. If you know how to pet me right, I'll purr just like a cat. Got the claws like a cat. I run fast like a cat. Got the muscle coordination like a cat. There's a lot of things with me, and even how cats can be kind of shy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they can hide from people. That's all me, right? But I know I'm not a freaking cat. And if I got all these surgeries to look like a cat and started crawling around with the cats, they'd be looking at me like, bitch, you are not a cat. Like, what are you doing? If I said, oh, I feel like I'm supposed to be Chinese, right? And I get all the surgeries to look like a Chinese person and do whatever to my hair, and I go to China, and they're like, chick, you were not Chinese. And then I get mad at them and start demanding that they accept that I'm Chinese. Where did they do that at? No. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that why is transgender okay but not transracial? Transracial makes more sense. If we're going to say that Rachel Zozow is wrong because she said she's black, that makes more sense though. That's less crazy than somebody saying they were born the wrong gender. You know why? Because race is really a social construct. You can't judge somebody's race you can't judge what's in somebody's bloodline by looking at them. Like, I got white people on both sides of my family. I have a cousin, beautiful cousin that's half white. If you look at her, she doesn't even look like she's half black. Okay, she's my blood cousin. She looks like a really pretty white girl. And you might look at her and be like, but she looks like a really pretty white girl. And then she had a daughter with a white man, and her daughter looks like a white girl. Okay, this is my blood. I have my childhood best friend, Jewish and Jamaican. Okay, light-skinned, beautiful chick. And had her sons with a white man. Her sons look white. You can't look at them and think, oh, they have some black blood in there. And then you got people who are pitch like my twin brother is dark skinned, but we have the same bloodline. We have white people in our family. You can't tell that by looking at him, right? So a lot of people, just by looking at people's phenotype, you don't know what's really in their bloodline. So, that makes more sense for someone to, like, if my cousin's daughter says she's black, even though she don't look black, her mom, according to America, she got a black mom. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying. But we don't accept transracial. So why the hell is sharing gender okay? Because you know what you're doing? Anytime somebody is mutilating their body, something is wrong with you, okay? Something's wrong with you. It's one thing if you're mutilating your body because... Okay, it's one thing if you're getting surgery for a good reason. Sometimes people have to get surgery. But when you say, oh, I'm going to cut off my breast, I'm going to cut off my penis, and a lot of them don't even do that, which is even more like, if you want to look like a woman, but you still have a penis, you're like, come on, stop trying to be in our category. You're not a woman. You don't bleed every month. You don't have a uterus. There's a whole rites of passage that comes with that, okay? Woman, we earn being a womb in, okay? All right? So, the thing is, what was I going to say? I don't know, I lost my train of thought. But going oh yeah, I was on Clubhouse, like, I don't know, there's a few times I've been on that app. Some of you don't know about it. It's an app where there's a lot of conversations. And I came across some rooms where there were trannies talking so negatively about women. And they were talking about how all these straight men want them, and oh, women are mad because their dudes wanna fuck with us, and their dudes like taunting women and saying that their men really wanted them, and they were really disrespectful and nasty. And I'm like, I have never in my life stumbled upon a room of women talking about trans women like that, ever. And if we ever did that, they want to hang us. Anybody says anything about them, okay? And with this whole struggle, like, so Dave Chappelle's jokes about them telling him about how tough it was, and he's a black man, and he's like, you ain't telling me nothing new. Like, I'm a black man in America. I know what it's like to be ostracized and struggle, except I didn't choose this. I didn't get surgery and stuff to make myself look like this, right? So I got that perspective. And I feel like that, as a woman, okay, women have had it rough. Women's sports, okay, women's sports is still not as popular as men's sports. Unless you're talking about maybe track, or tennis or something. But like basketball and like like the main sports, like women's sports aren't as popular. Female athletes aren't paid as much unless they play tennis. Okay, we don't need trans chicks over here trying to compete with us, taking scholarships away from girls, changing time. We can't beat them. You're a dude, okay? And I don't even. When I started seeing people have these conversations about whether trans girls should be competing with girls in sports, I'm like, why are we even having this discussion? Let's be real about man strength. I have a twin brother, and I remember before puberty, I used to beat him at races, beat him at stuff. And then I remember the day he beat me, and I never beat him again, ever. Okay? And that was when testosterone kicked in. I became aware then. There's a difference, big difference, between men and women. There's more differences than that, right? And so that's why I also thought it was funny. And I do feel like people are milking this delusion with them. Accept who you are. If you're a fruity gay dude, just be that. Okay? Because you feel bad because you don't fit in with all the other boys. Okay, be who you are, but you're not a chick, though. And a lot of people don't know R. Kelly has a trans son. I don't know what the... R. Kelly has a daughter, okay, that is trans male. Most people don't know that. I feel like his daughter wants to be a boy because she's traumatized from having him as a father, okay? And who knows if he did anything to her? I don't know. But I'm just saying, even if he didn't, the trauma of being a young girl and that's your father probably made her think, I don't even want to be a girl. It would be just easier if I was a boy. And I think that's what is happening with a lot of trans people. They just think the grass is greener on the other side. And I don't see trans men coming at men, okay? Trans women are coming from women's places. They want to be in the beauty competitions. Like, no, you're not even real. Like, why are you in our sports competitions? Why are you guys winning Women of the Year? And why now? It's apparently like politically incorrect to say breast milk and to say birthing woman. Now the politically correct term in the midwife doula birthing world is pregnant birthing people and chest milk. Like, no. So they just want to erase, like, and if a woman says I'm a real woman, if a woman says, then that offends them. And that's crazy. I'm not with the tiptoeing around them. No, you can't force that. It's like they're trying to force feed that to all of us. And as Dave Chappelle cracked in a previous stand-up when he talked about the alphabet people, and he said the LGBTQ are in the same car but not on the same journey, and that was true. Okay, because as a bisexual woman, I've never felt comfortable in this whole LGBTQ world. I don't go to lesbian clubs and parties because when I was in my early 20s, I realized a lot of lesbians are too violent, they're too crazy. I'm not saying all of them, but like 99%, okay? A lot of them hate men, all right? And they don't understand bisexual women. Like, I love women all day, all day, all day. Women are my weakness. But I'm not a lesbian, okay? I always need men in my life, all right? And a lot of times lesbians don't want to hear that. They try to, if you have a dude, they try to break you up, or they're too possessive. You hang out with them one time, they want to be your girlfriend. It's like their energy is too heavy for me, right? And I remember being in my early 20s. You said not many women speak about it. You always wonder how women felt. I know. Most of the women I see are like just sucking up to them, but I'm like, no, look. Okay. Yeah, and a lot of lesbians, they think that bisexual women are confused. I'm not confused, okay? I'm not confused, okay? I could think some lesbians are confused but it's like I don't go there because, like I said, I don't always understand why people do stuff. It's like you do what you do. But some lesbians are so afraid of a penis that it's crazy. And then they want kids too, and it's just like, okay, that to me is a little bit more confused than me. But it is, just be who you are. I'm just saying, bisexual women and lesbians don't usually vibe like that, right? If you're being true to yourself. I don't go to those type of things. When I remember being in my early 20s, Going to lesbian clubs in New York, girls are always fighting. I'm like, if we all like women, we should all be happy. There's pretty girls here. Let's be happy. Like, why is the fighting? And there's a lot of abuse in lesbian relationships. Okay, getting off of that. When you go to certain cities like San Francisco, New York, you have a gay male neighborhood and a lesbian neighborhood. They're usually not the same areas. The gay men and lesbians don't hang out together. Okay, and trans people are not the same thing as gay people. Okay, because gay people are just gay. They're not saying that they're a different gender. When you say that you're a different gender, to me, you have crossed the line, okay? Now, again, you can be a cross-dresser all you want. That has always existed in nature, okay? Even with RuPaul cross-dressed, but we knew he was a man. RuPaul never said he was a woman. RuPaul never tried to compete with women in a beauty pageant or sport. No, you're doing the drag queen thing. That's what you're not a woman, though, okay? And now, it's like this world now is just so fake. Everything is so fake and so cheap. And the thing is, the whole purpose of this video is that trans people aren't innocent. You know, and I've listened to some of the interviews, some of the trans women who look more like women than some women. And I've asked them, you know, when do you tell men that you're not a woman, that you're trans or whatever? And a lot of them be like, oh, it's not their business. I don't have to tell them until blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not saying anybody deserves any kind of violence. But if you get yourself in a situation with a man, okay, and you lead this man on, make him think that you're a woman, and it gets sexual, whatever, and he finds that out, I'm just saying, not everybody is mature enough and capable enough not to hurt you. It's just like, as a woman, I've had to be careful about how I move around with dudes, because there are dudes that can hurt me as a woman. So that's something you got to be cautious of. So if you trans and you talking to dudes, making them think you're a woman and you don't tell them that, like, no. Instead, you should find a community of dudes who like trans women. There are men like that. I used to know a dude like that. Okay, that's what he was into. So find them. But don't try to lead straight men on who like women and make them think that. And then if you get beat up or whatever, it's like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying they deserve it. I'm just saying. They're not always innocent. They have a very arrogant attitude of force-feeding this on everybody. And that's why when Dave Chappelle mentioned the TERFs, which I had never heard of that before, and I forget what it was, some type of feminists who were against the trans women, I'm like, oh, that's me, okay? A lot of people speak negatively about feminism, and I'm not a feminist expert, but I will say, I remember when I was in college, I took a class called Intro to Feminist Theory, and I knew nothing at the time. And what I learned in that class, which I never forgot, was that there are many different kinds of feminists. And they don't all agree with each other. So when people speak about the feminist movement as this like one thing, it's not. It's complex. There's many different branches, and they don't all agree. I always say I'm the kind of feminist that feels like my ideal prototype of feminism is Beyonce and Rihanna, right? Rihanna does what the fuck she wants. She smokes a blunt. She got her nipples out. She's sexually free. It is what it is. She's a boss, right? That's my idea. Also, Beyonce. You know, Beyonce has a husband. Beyonce has a kid, so she has kids. So she's a wife and a mother. But then she also is a sex symbol. She's been gyrating half naked before she met Jay-Z, and then she's still doing it. She didn't get with a man who was trying to stop her hustle. Jay-Z, being the entertainer and businessman that he is, understood that's what his wife does. And he wasn't saying, oh, you're my wife now. You don't need to do this anymore. Nah, Beyonce got even more sexual after Jay-Z. More sexual after she had Blue. Okay? Just turn up. Okay? I respect that. Those are the type of, because sometimes people act like if you're pro-woman or you're a sex symbol, you can't have a husband and kids, and you can't be all those things. Beyonce is all those things, right? So those are my ideas of feminist. Not and I feel like if I could be butt naked, if I want to be, I could have on glitter, whatever. Don't fucking touch me. That doesn't give you a right to. Dudes think they could disrespect. Like, if I felt like taking care of an animal, I'd have a pit bull. 2 of them, right? I love pit bulls. My favorite animals. I hate little shit dogs. Can't stand them. Don't understand why women have them. Because if you have a pit bull, not only are they beautiful animals, beautiful dogs, but people don't fuck with you when you have a pit bull, right? So if I felt like taking care of a pet, I'll have a pit bull or 2. And I'll go outside every day in some thongs and some glitter. If it was legal to be topless outside, I'd be topless outside with some glitter in the sun, Like, dudes can look at me all they want, but you can't come over here and fuck with me because I have these dogs. That's the main thing that keeps women from fully expressing themselves sexually or showing their bodies because they're afraid of being attacked. But if we were all trained in hand-to-hand combat weapons training or had some dogs, that shit wouldn't matter, right? So that's the kind of feminist I am. All right? And I'm also the kind of feminist of like, I don't want no dude trying to tell me how to be a woman, okay? Whether you're a gay dude, straight dude, whatever. Especially not a gay dude because you don't even like women. You're trying to be us and trying to tell us how to be us, crossing boundaries, right? Because I can think I understand whatever I understand about men, but I'm not a dude. And at the end of the day, I can't dictate to a man how to be a man. So why is it okay for them to do that? And so the fight that women have had with, male supremacy and patriarchy and men trying to dictate and control us, women have had that problem on this planet. And now to have trans women come in the game who's really a dude, okay, in sheep's clothes, and you're trying to, again, take over it. Like, that's not okay. So that TERF stuff that Dave Chappelle was talking about, I'm like, that's me. I'm glad to know they exist. Whoop, whoop. Okay? Then, I also, there were so many things about that stand-up that I thought was brilliant, and I was just glad he did it because I'm like, it's like nobody can express how they feel about them. And if somebody don't find you attractive, like the part of there was one part where Dave Chappelle was cracking jokes about being in Ohio. He said there's a nice restaurant if you're a poor white person from Ohio that's never been anywhere. And I thought that was hilarious. I knew exactly what he was talking about. And then he was talking about sitting with he was sitting there having the drinks, and the old woman was like talking his ears off about her daughter who was doing stuff in Hollywood. And she showed the picture, to him. And then he said that the woman then made a comment about her daughter being trans, and she had this attitude. And Dave made a joke about how when he was looking at her picture, he was thinking, oh my God, look at that jawline and that neck. And is she a man? And I remember he said that, and I thought that was funny. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because everybody's not attracted to everybody. Even if you were there's chicks that look like dudes. If somebody don't find you attractive, they don't find you attractive. If somebody doesn't find me attractive because of my hair or my complexion or whatever, they don't find, if beauty's in the eye of the beholder, that's okay. But I think it was funny, okay? Can't crack jokes about anybody. I mean, you can crack jokes about everybody but them, right? And there's a lot about it that is annoying, okay? If trans people could do what they want, stay in your category. Make the trans Olympics if you want. Don't try to be in the Olympics. Don't try to compete against women, okay? Don't try to be in a women's beauty pageant. Create a trans beauty pageant. Create your own lane. Stop trying to come into the lane of women when women have already had enough with male dictatorship in our shit. That's what that is. And they've had a huge influence on a lot of young girls now with the way they, like I said, the way they do the freaking drag queen makeup, was over the top makeup, where people are painting on a whole new face, okay? That came from the drag queen-ish trans world, okay? Then the ass shots and the hip injections and everything, that came from the trans world, okay? They were the ones that came with that first. So you got all these girls with the drag queen eyelashes, drag queen makeup, the drag queen wig, okay, tranny ass shots and hip injections, and now other girls are getting it, but it came from them, okay? And then they just be like feeling more entitled than women, wanting to jump into our circles and cry about how, look, no. Enough, okay? So I just wanted to make this video talking about how trans people are not innocent. If we're going to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. I'm tired of the narrative always being dictated just one way. Now, we all have to agree with this one thing. And if we don't agree, we're transphobic and we wish hate on them. I might be transphobic, but I don't wish any hate on them. Okay? Somebody could be, what is transphobic? That you're like scared of something or weirded out by it? I am kind of weirded out by them, okay? So, like, as Dave Chappelle kept joking in his stand-up about being transphobic, maybe I am. But I'm not wishing bad on them. I'm not saying that they deserve to be ostracized or discriminated against or beat up or murdered. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying I'm not with that shit. And everybody's not with that shit, period. And you can't force that on everybody. And I just feel like the type of censorship that's happening right now. And then, what do you know about transhumanism? Because that's something that I'm learning about, okay? So learning about transhumanism is like, okay, well, that's why this transgender stuff is being pushed so hard. You know, all this fake shit. People are not going to know what's real from fake. Like, people already can't know that from the food. What's real from fake. Okay? And I'm going to tell you the real shit lasts longer, feels better, tastes better, smells better, looks better, all of that. All right? So I'm going to end this video here. Please share your opinions. If you liked it, please like it. Please share it. If you're on YouTube, you don't follow me on IG, be sure to follow me there. On both my pages. And if you're on IG and you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to follow me there. All right? Have a good rest of your day, people. Thanks for listening. Bye.